Peace and blessings, everyone. Peace and blessings. Hi, journeyers. Hey, journeyers. Hey. Peace and blessings, everyone. I hope you had a peaceable and a blessed and then abundantly blessed day today. I hope you and I pray that you were able to tell yourself the most important thing in the morning. I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, yes, I love you. Yes, I do. I love you. So, here's the thing. This video is entitled Matters of the Heart because in the description below is basically about you dealing with a family member that you love and you care about, what to do when that family member becomes a an enemy. Now, we're not talking about enemy in the sense of they're fighting you tooth and nails. We're talking about enemy in the sense of they seem counterproductive to whatever you're trying to do. They're non-supportive, they're judgmental, they're all these negative attributes instead of being family-like. What do you do? How do you handle that? How do you deal with that? And you can't speak to your family the way you want to. So here it is. I'm adjusting myself, guys. Sorry about that. Here it is. You have family that you can't really go and speak to and share things with because of some reason. And the reason is totally up to them. You know, there are certain people that you have to just walk away from. And when it comes down to family, it's extremely, extremely hard. And I want to say this. I've experienced that on so many levels where you have always been there for a family member and now you're doing something and they're not as supportive as you would expect for them to be with you. It's not reciprocated. It's not reciprocated at all. And you're sitting there wondering, well, wait a second, I've always been there for you. Have you experienced this scenario? Well, I'm going to tell you something. I have, and I've seen it happen to plenty of people because it's just something that happens. And what you have to understand is that because it happened does not mean that you're not going to be successful in whatever the endeavor is that you are embarking on. You have to take into account that if those individuals, that family member came to you for help, then that family member knows that you're the one that give out support. You have to also know your role in a relationship with the individual, whether it's you're the giver or the receiver of whatever this person may need. You know, some people are just takers, naturally born takers, and no matter what you do, they're going to be this type of person. And you have to realize that. You have to disconnect from them. Because if not, you're going to go there. Your ship is going to go down with them. Because eventually, negativity never ever has a positive path. And I know it's hard. It's extremely hard because most people deal with, well, it's my parents, or it's my sister, or it's my aunt who raised me, or it's my grandma, you know, or it's my uncle. You know, the relationship is strained. Family issues, when it comes down to family issues and loved ones, it's a very touchy subject because in the African American community, family is a big, big stake for us. If your family is not together, you feel lost because your village, your tribe, your community first consists of the individuals in which you are biologically related to. And if that tribe, community, squad is dysfunctional or just whatever, if it's a negative attribute there, it kind of messes up your psyche when it comes down to relationship and how you view the family. But that's a whole totally different can of worms. What I'm talking about is when you have a family member who does not support you, who does not seem to understand what you're doing, and therefore they speak negatively about what you're doing whenever you share something with you. You're looking for them to celebrate you, and they don't. It's hard. But the one thing you have to learn is that not everyone is going to see your vision for your life. And those who do not see it are the ones who aren't supposed to. There are people who are going to be attracted to who you are just by you being yourself. And you have to understand, not all the time. See, your family knows you. They know whether or not you're going to be persistent in this, steadfastness about what you're doing, whether you're going to be focused, whether you're going to give up after a certain amount of time, whether you're going to be consistent with it. Like every day you're going to be posting something, every day you're going to be working your business, every day, whatever it is. If you decide that you want to be a dancer and every day you're practicing and they're like, it's going to, it's going to dwindle down. The fizz is going to go out of that soda very quickly. But here's the thing. There are people who will never ever see or see your vision, and they're not supposed to. That's one. They're not supposed to see your vision. You are. And let me give you a tip too. Everyone is not supposed to be privy to the vision in which you have for your life. So you need to get that under wraps. Stop looking for people to praise you who aren't of your tribe. Now, you say, but this is my family. My family should be supportive of me. They support other people because that's their, it's hard to say, but they're not of your tribe when it comes down to your vision and to what you were called to do. See, when I started out, and I have to use myself because this is the only person that I can attest to about the things that have happened in my life. And, the examples. I use myself because I don't want to offend anyone. So when I made the sound decision, once I lost my 12-hour shift job, because I was like, I had a 12-hour shift job. And let me give you a background. I had a 12-hour shift job in my degree, in my field that I have a degree in, which is psychology. So I thought, okay, this is what I want. I wanted to progress up the corporate ladder. But after my husband passed away, after my father passed away, once I got married, I really didn't want to work there anymore. So it lost its fizz. Excuse me. But after my husband passed, I think my husband passed in January. Not I think. My husband passed in January. And then I was going through a complete depression stage, and they let me go in May, which I was so happy. I was happy to be let go because now I can live my true dream. I can actually be exactly who I know I'm supposed to be. I can live out the very thing that I want to do. Sitting at a desk for 12 hours a day, I was not working on my dream. 12 hours, 12 hours a day, 12 from 8 to 8. I was missing out on my family. So when they let me go, I was relieved because 7 days prior to that, I had made the decision that I was going to quit. I actually said to myself, you know what? At lunchtime, I'm just going to give them my keys and my badge, and I'm not coming back. Or I was going to tell them that I'm not coming back. Well, be that as it may, 7 days later, they let me go, which this is what I wanted. So I got what I wanted. So here it is. Now I have the opportunity to do exactly what it is I want to do. So everybody's asking in the family, well, what are you going to do? Well, what are you going to do? Well, what are you going to do? And my mother specifically kept saying to me, well, you can get another job or you can go back to school. I don't want to go back to school. Going to school is really, really strenuous at this point, and I'm tired of going to school. And I have student loans. I don't want to go to school. I want to do something else with my life. And so she said, okay, what are you going to do? I haven't figured it out yet. People will ask you, what are you going to do? 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 Because people want to see what you're going to do in time of a crisis. When you change the course, when you veer from the course of normacy, and I put that in quotation because honestly, there's no such thing as normal. There is a program in which has been set for us to follow, but there is no such thing as normal. And I need to say that there's no such thing as normacy. So when you veer, when you stray away from the beating path, people begin to notice. Okay, she lost her job. What is she going to do now? And in actuality, it's no one's business what you're going to do. That's another tip. That's two. It's no one's business what you're doing. And you shouldn't concern yourself with someone else is doing. Only concern yourself with what you're doing. And if other people did the same, we wouldn't have people not living out their dreams. I digress on that subject. But everybody wanted to know what I was doing, so I decided I'm going to start my own business. What? I'm going to start my own business. And what? I'm going to be a life coach and a motivational speaker. I've been doing it anyway. I've been doing it for years without, getting paid. So now it's time for me to take this seriously. This is the desire of my heart. This is what I want to do. This is how everybody's face went. And of course, the whispers were, she don't know nothing about running no damn business, especially from one particular family member. And then from another, it was, how you gonna do it? What you gonna do? A life coach? What is that? I don't even understand what that is. Now, I got some nays, I got some yays, I got some, yeah, you can do it, but how? I realized that if I wouldn't have told anyone, I wouldn't have heard the nays or the yays. And when you are following suit with what God has blessed you to do, the God-given path that you have, let me explain something to you. You don't need anyone to validate you. You don't need anyone to tell you this is the right path for you. You don't need anyone to say to you, you know what, I believe that you need to do this. And you don't need people to sit here and constantly tell you over and over again, yeah, that's what you need to do. Yeah, you should do that. Yeah, you should do that. See, when you begin to start listening to what people say in your life, guess what happens? You lose all confidence in yourself, in your decision-making skills, and you begin to rely on others to validate you. Now, I said all of that just to say this. Don't worry about your family member. Don't worry about them. They have chosen, they could have chosen to support you. They could have chosen to be there for you, but they chosen not to. Remember, we all have free will, and their will has allowed them to choose someone else other than you. And you have to get over it. You just got to get over that. You can't sit there and dwell on it. But you don't understand. I'm always there for them. So what? Now it's time for you to be there for you. Okay? Did you hear me? Now it's time for you to be there for you. Learn to be a little bit selfish. The most successful people in the world had to become selfish. And then they could, once they began to see success and the results that they desired, then they became compassionate, giving, philanthropists, advocates for certain, they started foundations and nonprofit organizations and fundraisers and scholarship programs where they gave back to the community. See, we're always concerned. We're programmed to stick with each other. Don't veer off. If you veer off, the lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, will get you. Truth be told, if you veer off the path and there's a lion or a tiger or a bear, then that means you're going to be a zoologist. And if you have decided to be a zoologist, guess what? You're prepared. Each of us are born with God-given gifts and abilities that each one of us do not possess the same tools, because each one of us have to go down our own path. You're sitting here worrying about this family member not supporting you, when in actuality, all you need to do is do what it is you're supposed to do. And guess what? They'll see the proof that you were determined, dedicated, and guess what? They'll begin to do the same in their own lives. They'll begin to pursue and produce the results in their life that makes them happy. See, sometimes you don't need the support of your family member. What you need is you're not looking for support. Let me rephrase that. You're not looking for the support of your family member. What you're looking for is the validation. And when we get right down to the nitty-gritty of it, it's human nature for us to want validation from our peers. And sometimes your peers, some people are strong enough to say that I don't look for my friends to validate me. I look for my family members to say, well, this is okay, and that's okay. We should do that, and this is okay, and we should do that. But when you are following your dream, you cannot look for anybody else to validate you. It's not conducive to the results that you're desiring. If everybody validated you, think about it. What type of world would we live in if everyone got validated? Every little thing that they did was validated by everyone. No one would be an individual. No one would be an individual. Everybody would look. No one would have their own mind. They wouldn't think for themselves. They would look for what everybody else is saying. And we really live in that society right now. And I'm not here to talk politics. I'm not here to put anything down. But I'm saying to you, you have to regain the control over your confidence. Confidence is not something that people are born with. It's something that you gain each time you take the risk of standing alone and making a decision that most people think is the wrong decision, because you took a risk and everyone else is afraid to take the risk. They are afraid to take the risk because they're not built like you. Now, if you were courageous enough to start following your dream and pursuing it and living it, or you changed your career when everybody was telling you not to, and now therefore you're doing this thing and you're looking for people to support you. Why? It's your decision. I know this is a touchy situation, but you have been granted a gift. You're like, what gift? The gift of the family member that doesn't appreciate me, doesn't love me, doesn't support me. How is that a gift? No, you're looking, see, you have to stop looking at the negative in every situation. We're so programmed to look at the negative that we miss all of the positives about our lives. You have to look at the gift that you were given. God has blessed you with boldness, courage, resiliency, and you have your own mind. You can think for yourself. You thought of something, you created your own life. You are a master creator of the life you desire. So what if it's not looking like everybody else's? You're doing exactly what it is that you desire to do. And from doing that, guess what you're doing? Somebody's watching you. And guess what? You're becoming a trailblazer. You're carving out a trail for someone else to follow and say, hey, well, they went that way and they're okay. Watch what I tell you. That same very family member will come to you after years later and say, you know what? I never thought that what you were doing was the best thing for you. But look at it now. You're so successful. You're so happy. You're at peace. You're traveling the world. You're doing all these things. And yet, I didn't support you in the beginning because I didn't think it would be this grand. I didn't think you would be successful at it. Your success does not depend or hinge on when someone else supports you. Your vibe attracts your tribe. You're not of the same. First of all, they would come to you for support. So why would you think that this family member or loved one would support you? They don't know how to support. That's what you have to realize. They don't know how to support. Now, contrary to popular belief, and some may disagree with me, let's agree to disagree. Stop caring. Some say you need to care about your family. That's your blood. Blood is thicker than water. Last time I checked, I don't drink blood. I drink water. Water gives life. So guess what? Let me sip on this water for a second. And then, you know what? I'm going to come back and give y'all a blood transfusion. That probably went over somebody's head. Because it doesn't even matter anymore. It doesn't. You have got to stick to your guns. See, that's what there are so many creative people, so many inventions that could be here in this world right now, in our society right now. And this is the prime time to create something great because we're living in an age and time where everything is at your fingertips. Everything is at your fingertips. So for you not to create something, even creating the life in which there are online marketers. There was no such thing as an online marketer 20 years ago. Online? What is online? We didn't even have that terminology. You better get on the bus and get it together. Create something great. Create something grand. and live your life. If you pay attention to distractions, guess what they'll do? They'll become obstacles. And as much energy as you put into a distraction, that's how large your obstacle will be. It takes courage, determination, stick to itiveness to walk in your purpose. And the reason it's you that's doing it is because you were given the gift of courage to do so. Stop looking for them to sit here and tell you that you need to do this and you need to do that. And why are you doing it? Or this way. Whatever. You're right. You're going to do it. I like to see the day when you do that. Oh, you going to be a billionaire? Well, I'm Rockefeller. Or I'm Jeff Bezos. Or something to another effect. Well, then I'm gonna be dancing with Beyonce. What you have to understand is people, everybody has the opportunity to live out their dreams. Some people just lack the courage to do so. And if you are dealing with a family member that does not support you, it is not for them to. It's for you to go ahead and do what it is that you're doing. Continue the course and stop worrying about people validating you. Your vibe will attract your tribe. You were given the gift of courage. So continue on this brick road, easing on down and forgetting all these people. Because when it breaks down to whether you're related to them or not, they're still people. You have got to move on with your life. You have to. Because if not, you pay attention, it becomes a distraction at this family member. Why won't they? See, you sit all day long talking about why won't they support me? Why is it that they're talking bad about me? Who cares? Why is it that you have to get the I don't care attitude? You want to be successful in anything in your life. You have to get the I don't care attitude. You love them, but you don't care about how they feel about what you're doing. Because you were given the courage, the gift of courage to go ahead and live out your life. And you have to understand that you were given that gift. Nobody else was. So why are you stressing it? You're causing dis-ease in your body, which leads to disease. You want to be happy? You want to have peace? You want to live an abundant lifestyle? Well, guess what? You have to get the I don't care attitude with those negative family members that you think are your enemy. They're not your enemy. They're not your enemy. Stop looking. Why do we always think everybody is a hater? Why do we always think that somebody is trying to destroy me, or they're praying against me, or they put something, they're talking bad about me? No. When people are doing that, let me tell you what they're doing. They're subconsciously informing the world of their lack. Let me say that again. They're subconsciously informing the world, whoever is listening to them, of their insecurities and their lack of what it is that you possess that they wish they had. I realized that when I was a very young woman, when I was a very young girl, that anytime somebody talks about you, anytime you are the subject of someone's conversation and it's negative and they're putting all these negative things out about you, let me tell you something. Family do it, friends do it, foes do it, frenemies do it, leaders do it, your boss does it, your manager does it, your supervisor does it. People do that. And guess what it is? It is a profound sign of them lacking something, and they're broadcasting. They don't even know that they're doing it. They're subconsciously broadcasting their insecurities about a trait that you possess and they lack. And that's what you have to understand. So your concern should never be this family member, and you should never classify your family member as an enemy. I don't care if you think that that title suits them. They're just a human being. They're just a human on this life experience who has free will, who has chosen not to support you. And they can't. They come to you for support anyway. So if you're the one that's always supporting them, what makes you think that this individual who has never supported anything in their life, but has always come to you for support, is going to support you? Start opening your eyes, start paying attention, and start breathing. Do a couple of breathing exercises. Just relax about it. Oh, they don't want to support me? All right. I'm going to still be great. I'm going to be making so much money. I mean, seriously. Do you think that Beyonce was stressing about those ex-members? The members that were in Destiny's Child? She wasn't thinking about them. She had to keep going. She didn't care what the media was saying about her. She didn't care what the news, everybody was saying. She didn't care. She had a golden mind and she had to do it. And now everybody just loves Beyonce. Beyonce this, Beyonce that, Beyonce, 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 Beyonce. But guess what? I can remember a time when nobody really liked her because people thought that she was the cause of a lot of stuff. It doesn't matter when you have a goal in mind. And I have nothing against Beyonce. Lord, let me just say that, because people will go, oh, what? You talking bad about Beyonce? Look, I have nothing against Beyonce. She's a beautiful artist. I've never met her. Soon, I probably will. But I'm just saying, this is what was going on. There was a lot of stuff being said about Beyonce that was negative in reference to the group of Destiny's Child during that time. Now, here's the thing. If you stress about this loved one is going to begin to live their life positively while you sit here and degrade your life. Your life, your abundance and everything is going to decrease because you're stressing out. Why aren't they supporting me? What is going on? Why aren't they supporting me? I do everything for them. So what? You're whining. You're complaining. Your life can't be like that. You cannot do that and expect to have abundance in your life. Expect to have peace in your life. Expect to have joy in your life. Expect to have the love of your life. What you give your energy to is what grows. What you think about becomes real. Your thoughts become things. It hurts, let it go. Let it hurt for a minute. Not even that. 16 seconds is enough. Let it go. Let it go. In fact, 5 seconds is enough. Let it go. Oh, you're not supporting me? Kind of messed up though, but all right. I have family members that don't support what I do. But I'm not in business for them. I'm in business of helping people who need help. That is what my purpose is, to help those who need help. And if you don't understand that, then that means that I'm not the help that you need. That means someone else is going to help you. Regardless of what anybody tells you, you're great. And I love you. And God loves you. Even if you don't believe in God, you believe in the universe, a higher power. The higher power, the source from whom all blessing flows, loves you and has granted you the most important gift of all, courage. You now have courage to do the thing that most people don't do, that most people won't do. You started on a new path in your life. And I'm gonna tell you, here's a tip that I had to learn for myself, and I'm gonna get a little bit closer to you. Here's a tip that I had to learn in my life. And I'm going to be nice about it because I'm not just going to curse these people out because I love them. They know I love them. I love all of you. I love every single one of you. But at a certain point in your life, you're going to get to the point where you're going to have to say this. I don't care. That's none of my concern. I don't care. I don't want to care. I don't, no, I'm not caring anymore. Who cares if you're doing it? Who cares if I don't care. You having problems? Oh, sorry for you. I don't care. Oh, you need help? Oh, I really can't help you right now because I'm busy. Not caring. And you're like, what type of life coach says that? What type of motivational speaker says that? Let me tell you something. The greatest motivational speaker that has ever walked this planet, his name was Jesus. And guess what he said? Let the dead bury the dead. What? He said, let the dead bury the dead. It translates to, they're not looking for life. Let them continue on what they're doing. You want something different in your life. Come go with me. Let's go, partner. Let's go. Let them bury who they bury. Yeah, you love him. Yeah, but he gone now. He gone. Let's go. You're gonna sit there and waste your life away, wanting to keep doing the same vicious cycle, but you keep praying. You need to check out my other video, the 3 W's. The 3 W's that every human being falls prey to. The 3 W's. Like you want to sit here, you want another life. You're wishing for another life, but you want your family members to sit here and approve you. What? You're wanting, you're waiting. Wait, you're wanting, you're wishing, and you're waiting. And none of family members gonna be all right. Because soon as they see you at the top of your game or whatever that you're doing, guess what they're gonna say? This is what you're gonna hear. If they live close enough to you, if you allow people to come over to your house unannounced. I don't play that. You got to call me on the phone. What you're going to hear is, brrr. Wait, hold on. Brrr. Let me put that down real quick. Let me make sure. Brrr. Phone just ringing. You wait, what? Brrr. This it does say that. Let me let it go to voicemail. Be smart. Be smart. Be smart. I did not get to where I am by answering the phone every single time a family member called me, especially that same one. That very same one that you have now categorized as an enemy. But you have always been there to support. When will it be time for you? You have got to learn to be some form of selfish. Even Jesus had some time to himself. It says a lot. Sometimes he sent them away so that he can meet up with them. But let me tell you something. These loved ones are just that. They're loved ones. They're not a support system. There is a difference. They're loved ones. And you have got to get that in your head. They're loved ones. And you have been gifted with something that most people do not have. It's courage. And this loved one lacks that, because if they come to you for all type of support, help, encouragement, financial stability, or they need to stay at your house all the time, or they're going through something all the time, they have some type of drama going on, baby, you better run for it. You better run, Forrest, run. because you're never going to live. You're going to constantly be and I love y'all. I love y'all so much. You are going to be just that to them. You're going to be their support system. So I love y'all. I just wanted to get on here and tell you that you have got to learn to get away and love them from afar. I love you all. Ooh, excuse me. Remember, God loves you, and so do I. You can click below, follow, subscribe, click below. And then not only that, you can also schedule your sessions with me. You can now schedule your sessions with me, as well as my sister journeyers. You need to get your tickets for Blossoming into the Blessing. You should definitely get your tickets for Blossoming into the Blessing, because there are things going on. You want to be a part of this woman in empowerment event. Is going to be revolutionary. It's going to be an elevation going on in this event like never before. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be sisterly love. It's going to be unity going on. We're going to be loving on each other. We're going to be loving every inch of you to your next level. You don't want to miss Blossoming into the Blessing, because you're going to learn the steps that you need to become the shero in your own story. No more damsels in distress. No more knight in shiny armor. You know what you got to do? You got to pick up that tarnished armor and shine it yourself and put it on and rescue yourself. Come on now. I know that was a word. It's a word, y'all. It's a word. I love y'all so much. Smooches.